Hello and welcome. Today we are in the Tier 10 Soviet battleship, the Sibir. The ship was given to me by Wargaming. This is a secondary focused premium Kremlin. It is, well, in a way it's worse than Kremlin and in a way it's better. This is a secondary focused ship, but it's not gonna give Libertad a run for its money. The secondaries are just nowhere near as good, but remember, Kremlin's a really tanky ship, the guns are pretty punchy, so there's a bunch of trade-offs here. Now I think Libertad is a better ship, because Kremlin itself isn't that powerful these days, but Kremlin is really tanky, and so that means this ship is as well. However, you do have some downside. Your main battery range is reduced, you also don't have a regular heal, instead you have this 1 minute 40-second heal, meaning that, in effect, you actually get less healing done per match than a Kremlin would. However, you can have this heal tick for 1 minute and 40 seconds continuously, meaning that if you're getting pummeled, combined with Kremlin's tankiness, well, Sibir's tankiness, you can just survive for basically the entire duration of this heal. Unfortunately, being able to heal less on a Kremlin, at least for me personally, is a downside, because I tend to be able to survive until I use up all of my heals. However, if you notice, the ship also has an F key, and this F key improves your main battery dispersion by 20%, which makes you more accurate. And that's actually quite useful because this ship has worse Sigma than Kremlin does, so it's even less accurate. So this key definitely helps a lot. However, you have to get hit, really, to activate it. Now, the secondaries themselves, the reason they're not that great is because they don't have the kind of penetration power that Libertad and Schlieffen secondaries do. Right, so as a result you don't do massive damage to ships, but these secondaries definitely add up, and they still have the warding off effect that, well, secondaries generally have against smaller ships, right? No cruiser or destroyer really wants to be within secondary range of really any ship. Even if the secondaries don't seem to be all that accurate, the moment you start being shelled by secondaries you go, I don't really want to be here. This is not a good place for my ship to be, because, you know, the incidental damage will just add up. It's very hard to differentiate between somebody that's fully secondary focused and somebody that isn't. So in this sense, the secondaries are actually pretty damn great. Come on. Secondaries? On the Commissar? I guess not. Never mind. But that being said, I don't think you should focus purely on the secondaries. It's just not really worthwhile. I mean, 11.6 kilometers is good, but again, if you're a secondary ship, right, you're gonna get into secondary duels. And when you fight ships that have 12.5 to 15 kilometer secondary ranges, you're gonna lose. Just because, well, you are. Now, the regular damage control party is something I do like on the Sibir, because this means that fires aren't going to be as deadly because you can damage control party every single fire that you want. Which I think these days is pretty much what you kind of should do on a battleship most of the time, unless you're being really, really pummeled, like by a million ships at once. Like even right now, using damage control party here I think is the right choice. Even though I'm gonna get hit by a lot of HE again, because I think by the time I get like 2 fires on my ship, I would already have damage control party back again. Because if it's a single fire, then letting it run versus damage control partying, it's basically the same thing, right? Although having DCP right now with the submarine here would have been nice, because this might end up being a bit of a sketchy thing. I'm just gonna randomly drop the ASW. I have no idea where the submarine is. I know he was somewhere here. I saw the ping like long ago, but recently I haven't paid any attention, so I don't really know. But so far, game has been alright for me. It's not been so great for my team. That's the enemy controls all 3 cap zones. I'm gonna be able to avoid these torpedoes, so we're gonna be perfectly alright. And I think it might be an idea to pull back a little bit, because fighting a... Oh, actually hit. Nice. Are we gonna hit again? 3, 2, 1. No. Okay. But we did assist in the cap zone. However, I think it would be a good idea to pull back from here. I don't really wish to fight as a battleship in an area where there's an active submarine and we don't have anything to counter this with. It just seems like a really bad idea for me. Besides, we have this cap zone. The fight is gonna be over B and C rather than A, I think, unless the enemy decides to push really hard into this, which they don't need to because they control 2 of the other 3 cap zones, although it seems our submarine is actually taking the B cap, so there's a chance we might be in the lead. But even if that's the case, they're gonna attack B rather than A, because there are just too many ships here, right? There's a Petro, a Sibir, a Libertad, a Napoli, a Salem, and they don't know, maybe there's something else here, maybe our submarine is here too, right? It's not like they... Well, they might know, but they might also not know, it's hard to tell. Oh! Got him! Apparently this is how we deal with submarines. Wait, I said it in chat too. Well, I am doing this commentary afterwards, so if you ever wonder, like, do I actually remember the games that I play? Yeah, I do. I definitely do. Sometimes I remember these matches that I play, even years after I played them. There's this hood match that I've had in a folder that I've been meaning to make a video of from a ranked battle, and it's been like 4 or 5 years since I played it, and I still vividly remember what happened in that match, because I just enjoyed it that much. Why have I not made a video of it yet? I don't really know. Comment below if you want to see it. Also, like and subscribe. It's a really good hood match. It ends up in a 1v1 at the end, with some very interesting gameplay. Anyway, we hold 2 of the 3 cap zones here. The enemy does have a points lead, and they actually have a ship's lead, because they've sunk 5 of ours and we've only sunk 4 of theirs. And unfortunately we've lost our submarine, which was the one edge we had for a while, but that's okay. He at least got us the cap zone. Now our B cap is only really defended by an Azuma. The enemies are actually, I think, positioned pretty poorly though, because they are... like half the enemy surviving team is in their cap zone, spawn point. This is a pretty bad position to be long term. However, we are down to 6 ships, they still have 8, so they do hold a pretty commanding position. I'm just gonna skirt around here, try to keep warding them off. Oh, there's the airstrike cruiser still here, that's a little annoying. But luckily he only did 2k damage and no fire, so we're alright for now. I really want to use these secondaries, but look how difficult it is to use secondaries if the enemies just don't want you to use them. And it makes sense, look. Even if they don't know that Sibir has secondaries, because this was played during the testing period, or not early on in the period, but like pretty late. So they might have known about what Sibir does, but there was a Libertad at A, and nobody wants to secondary fight a Libertad. It's a losing proposition. So of course they just back off. But still, because of that, it's also difficult for me to secondary fight anyone. I do believe we can actually take the sea cap if somebody actually just sailed into it and took it, but we'll see if that ever happens. Man, I've tanked quite a lot in this match, 1.9 million potential already, and I still have plenty of HP left. Okay, 32 seconds on the heal and 67k HP, it's not the best, but it's decent. Also, because of the way heal works in this ship, honestly, fire is pretty effective. Because if you can get uncontrolled fires, they're just gonna run out of heals, because you do heal less. Man, they do really keep shooting it. Should I even shoot back? Because they don't actually see me. So it's kind of difficult for them to shoot back if I don't actually shoot myself. Look at that dispersion. Oh my god. I guess the ship man got unlocked before I pressed the fire button. And it still landed a hit, but torpedo protection hit. Seriously. And another fire, which means another damage control party. Oh, we might get a nice shot on the Tsar here. Oh, and there's a Commissar here, within secondary range actually. And Tsar will be within secondary range too. So I'm gonna focus on the Tsar. Go, my little secondaries, go! And hello, Tsar. Enjoy a broadside of AP. Look, I have almost built up enough points to activate the F key. Well, goodbye, Tsar. Yeah. So the thing is, main battery hits, I'm pretty sure, don't actually increase this F key. I think it's like secondary hits and being shot at or something like that. So it actually ends up being somewhat difficult to activate it all that much. Okay, I've lost a lot of HP, so it's time to heal. Go secondaries. Oh, they're gonna hit that Aegir pretty. This is like the perfect position, right? While you're getting behind the island, he's coming out from behind the island, which means that he can't actually shoot you. Although I think he's focused on the Libertad anyway. I turned the heal off because I think I might want a little bit more heal later. Even though I think I only have enough heal left that it's going to just, you know, heal me up to max, and that's kind of it. Okay, maybe healing here would be a good idea. Okay, iOS showing broadside. Oh, we got below 10%. Actually, this captain's, wow, 35k HP. The special Soviet captain though synergizes well with the ship because you can heal up from your 10% and then you just trigger your heal again to heal further. Because, you know, that's the HP you can heal. But I don't want to use it yet, because right now I'm benefiting from the adrenaline rush, and the fact that if the enemies see the HP I have, they're more likely to actually shoot me. But I suspect that they're not going to be able to kill me, which means that they will get a little bit bamboozled when I pop the heal, and it heals, you know, heals me quite significantly again. Because this is a pretty powerful heal overall. But nevertheless, I think at this point, maybe it's worth it, because I just noticed we're at 760 points, 3 minutes left, so maybe I just get all the HP I can out of it, and that's all the HP I will have for the rest of the 26k. Wow. This is all the HP I will have for the rest of the game. I've already used the special captain thing, fire, of course we damage control party, since we have absolutely no heals left. Is that a broadside I see there, Pomen? That's F key for some better dispersion. Look at that dispersion. Can't believe it. That's such an amazing spread. Can't believe it's not butter. Okay, I'm sorry. I've been watching Winter too much recently, okay? I just... it just slips in there. Anyway, I'm gonna get one more shot because of Adrenaline Rush. With the F key, I think. Maybe I waited actually too long. Anyway, the Pommern is gone. Sorry, Aegir. Yeah, Pommern, sorry. Aegir managed to sink her. But I'm gonna go down because of this fire. But that's alright. We did a pretty decent match. 165k damage, 3.7 million potential damage. And we will win in like 1 minute. Okay, Libertad is probably gonna die. He might get the cruiser here. Or the cruiser might get him. One of them, but regardless, this is basically impossible for the enemy team to win. Right, they don't have the ships anymore. Wait, Libertad, you fired on the... Oh, I guess Libertad wants to shoot on the Thunderer and hope the secondaries finish off the cruiser. Well, the Aegir did. Either way, it's a 1 versus 3 and the Thunderer is low HP. Meanwhile, our Musashi is almost full HP. So, it's over. Anyway, as I mentioned earlier, 165k damage, sank 2 ships, assisted a cap, 2184 base XP, not the best, but pretty good. Wow, that submarine got almost 2900 base XP. The secondaries did very little, 12k, but they're alright. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I would like to thank the patrons on Patreon. Thank you very much for your continued support, and I hope I'll see you guys next time.